Most of us have an inner voice that becomes incredibly harsh the moment we struggle. And mine's been particularly loud this week. We think being hard on ourselves will make us stronger, better, more motivated. That somehow that's the way to motivate ourselves to improve. If I criticize myself enough, I'll finally change. If I shame myself, I won't make the same mistake again. If I hold myself to impossible standards, I'll eventually reach them. Maybe you've learned this from experience, but harsh self-criticism doesn't create lasting growth. Instead, it creates fear, stress, and trains your nervous system to see mistakes as dangerous. Not to mention that when you attack yourself internally, your body responds as if it's under threat. And the catch is that your brain responds to mental and emotional attacks the same way it would to a physical attack. Meaning, stress hormones rise. Anxiety increases. Your mind becomes more rigid, not more flexible. And that's not a state where learning and growth happen. That's a state where you freeze, avoid, or give up. But what's the alternative? As cliché as it sounds, the alternate response to self-criticism is self-compassion. And it's not weakness. It's not laziness. It's not some woo-woo philosophy BS. And it's definitely not letting yourself off the hook. Self-compassion just means that you respond to yourself the way you would respond to someone you deeply care about, with honesty, kindness, and understanding. Sometimes that does mean tough love, but more often than not it also means having grace. Self-compassion has 3 key parts. First, kindness toward yourself. Speaking to yourself with care instead of insults. Second, remembering you're human. Everyone struggles. Everyone fails. If you messed up or did something embarrassing, well, newsflash, you are human. Third, awareness without judgment. Not suppressing your emotions. Not exaggerating them. Just noticing what's actually happening. Self-compassion says, this is hard. I'm struggling. But I still deserve care. Sometimes even just getting to this point and being able to believe that you still deserve care and kindness can be a huge turning point. People get self-compassion mixed up with self-esteem. The main difference being that self-esteem is often based on comparison and achievement. Whereas self-compassion is about knowing that you are worthy even if you fail, and that you deserve kindness, inherently, and especially when you slip up. And it works. This isn't just some feel-good about yourself propaganda. Research consistently shows that people who practice self-compassion are more emotionally resilient, less anxious and depressed, more motivated from the inside, not from fear or shame, more connected to others, and even physically healthier. The issue for a lot of us is that self-compassion was never modeled. And this doesn't necessarily mean you had an abusive past, it might just mean that mistakes were met with criticism, or your emotions were minimized, or you learned that love was conditional on performance. But what once protected you may now actually be holding you back. And the beliefs that once served you are outdated. So here are a few powerful ways you can show yourself a little love and TLC. 1. Notice when you're being harsh and especially start paying attention to your inner language. Do you call yourself names? Do you jump to worst-case scenarios? Do you use words like should, always, or never? Does your body tense up when you talk to yourself? Simply noticing is powerful. Naming it creates space. And space gives you choice. I recently made another video about dealing with intrusive thoughts. Check it out if you're interested. 2. Get curious about your inner critic. Instead of fighting your inner critic, try listening to what it's actually afraid of. Often, your inner critic isn't evil. It's scared. And when you understand that, you can respond with compassion instead of trying to fight yourself. 3. Turn judgments into facts. Instead of saying something super emotionally charged, like, I'm such a failure, take a step back and try something more objective like, well, that didn't go the way I hoped. The goal is to learn from our experiences and mistakes without self-destructing along the way. 4. Use soothing touch because your body also needs to feel safe, not just your mind. This can be as simple as doing some breathing exercises or meditating or even going for a walk. And it works in both directions. When your body feels safe, it's easier for your mind to relax. When your mind is relaxed, it's easier for your body to rest too. 5. Speak to your younger self and do some inner child work. I'm not going to add much more to this point because inner child is a whole different video. 6. Clarify what really matters to you. Maybe you're beating yourself up about something that actually isn't all that important to you. Self-compassion, in my experience, comes and goes in waves. Sometimes things are going great and it's easy to be kind to yourself. Other times it feels like you can't stop messing up. But I hope you always return to self-compassion. Self-compassion is not giving up on yourself. It's finally being on your own side. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.